sync. Alright, so I needed a pose, but I didn't know how to actually obtain said pose through the means of taking a picture of myself to try to actually recreate that pose, because I needed an overhead angle shot pose with someone laying on the ground. So instead, I went on Google, typed in 3D modeling. I was going to use the one that I used to use in my previous video, the Pose Manix or whatever it's called, something, but that does no longer allow me to use the online web browser version. I think I was looking at it and I was like, I can't deal with this, so I started to use this instead. You could see me messing around with it. Then I added a new character to put in the background to lay on the floor so I could get that overhead angle shot of someone looking like they've been defeated and it's just them starting to walk away. But it did take a little bit of finagling to actually get to that point, but in the end I think I achieved what I wanted and got the pose that I actually wanted. Now that I got all the mannequins in the positions that I wanted to be and got the angle that I was imagining, it is now time to actually start drawing out the piece. So let's do it. I actually started off trying to replicate the image off of the picture or the screenshot that I took previously, and I kept on finding difficulties of getting the exact portions correctly just from eyeballing it back and forth. So I decided to cheat a little bit, or some people might say cheat, or some people might say just utilizing the tools at hand that you already went out and tried to create. I decided to trace the basic outline of the piece or the pose that I'd created earlier, and then I went back in and then started adding some more finer details, remastering it per se to actually fit my style and how I actually draw, to actually allow me to just get on with it and not waste any more time. I used to be one of those people that did not like this overall idea of actually utilizing the mannequin to get the rough sketch or rough outline of the pose, and I've started to wane off of that, mainly because there's a lot of innovation in the art world at the moment, and I'm trying to just utilize the tools that are given to me to make my life a little bit easier. I do think that you should try to get the basics down before you start doing stuff like this and trying to find out your own style, because this could lead to some iffy type of things. And don't like copy other people's work. Like if it's a mannequin and you want to recreate that pose and you get that mannequin pose yourself, then it's all good and fun and games, but don't like actually steal people's artwork. And I do know people utilize this mannequin method a lot. Actually, one of the reasons people like to use clip studio a lot is because they have built-in mannequins so they can just trace it or get the rough outline sketch and then tweak it like how I'm doing here and utilize it in their own style. So whatever helps me get this done quicker at a more steady pace, get these videos out, and then also I might utilize it in my comic in the future too, just for unique poses or unique angles that I can't necessarily get, and it'll be an easier way to like manage things realistically time frame wise. Enough about that, let's talk about the character itself. I didn't have a idea of what this character was going to look like at all. So after I got the started like editing and adding more detail to it, I was like, I'm gonna make this guy black. I'll have him walking away after winning a fight and just looking like a badass. I really like how his overall design turned out. It's very simple. I've noticed I've been leaning more and more towards like simpler designs. I do that in my comic too, but that's more out of necessity of like drawing the characters over and over again so I don't burn myself out. But just in general, just like everyday attire, I've been thinking is more appealing than like these really ornate type of dresses or whatnot that people tend to draw to catch your eye. I just like the normal attire. I don't know, it's just more appealing to me at the moment as of right now. Maybe I'll do some more ornate attire in the future, but as of right now, just more subdued type of dealing. All right, I am back. I just took a shower. I feel fresh. So all we have to do is work on the dude that is laying on the ground. So let's work on that. Get this finished. But before that, hey you, yeah you, did you want a piece of art just like in this video that's created by me, Eldon L. Glover, aka Eldon Draws? Then head over to eldondraws.com/commissions or just eldondraws.com and click the commissions tab, and you can custom order a piece to your liking for me to draw for you. You just gotta commission me over at eldondraws.com/commissions once again. Now back to the video. For the character that's laying in the background, I decided to go with a simple design. Shocker, I just talked about how much I've been loving simple designs. I wanted their hair to actually be kind of a mess, laying on the ground, like they just fell forward, and so their hair is like forward in front of them too. to give it that more of a nice little touch to it instead of it just being their basic hair. And I kind of want the hair to be like touching the ground too. So I added a little divot in the head where the hair is to give it a little type of an effect that is actually touching the ground and is going past his head, or the character's head that is currently on the ground. And then I actually went back in and added the flooring, a bit of the flooring, just to give it more of a feel that this person's laying on something, and then having the flooring slowly dissipate or vanish, taper off of the background or the foreground or whatever ground they're standing on. I'm not gonna lie, that took way longer than I initially thought it was gonna take. But I am really liking, and I mean really liking, how this is turning out. All I really have to do now is ink and then add the toning. So let's just do it! Looking at the final piece, I've actually really like how this turned out. All the toning, everything that went into the shading. If you didn't notice from when I was doing the actual posing of the mannequins, that there is a light feature that gave you a hint of how the shading was going to be. The light source, I should say, was going to be from the topper angle, so most of the character laying on the ground was going to be like pretty much fully highlighted in light, and then some of the back of the character walking away was going to be in light, and then most of him, like his front side, was going to be in shade. I really like how this turned out. Like, really like how this turned out. I want to do more of these in the future, so I'm going to do more of these in the future. But just overall, the whole vibe, is nice. I really like it. I've been working on these more action or different angle type of scenes, just so I get more practice for when I'm doing more actiony stuff in the comic, just to make it more of an interesting read or look at. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Also, did you guys like this type of editing style? I've tried something new. I don't know if it's something you guys like. I more or less like it more. There's some more tweaks that I want to do in the future, but overall I think it's a pretty fun way to edit, and it gives it more interesting, so it's just not a speed paint. Because if I'm just doing speed paints, what's the point of watching the full video if you could just watch a TikTok or a short of a speed paint that I post like a week after. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you later. Peace. Bye bye.